For centuries, we have been hearing stories about countless mythical creatures. But are those stories real, or are they just part of ancient folklore? Today, we will talk about 7 mythical creatures that may have actually existed in our world. This is part 6 of the series, and believe me, these ancient tales are nothing short of fascinating. The first creature on our list is unicorn. You've probably only heard of unicorns in fairy tales or stories, but some researchers believe that unicorns actually existed thousands of years ago. During the time of the Indus Valley civilization, people used to draw a creature on stones that had a large horn on its head. People today think those were just unicorns from stories, but that's not true. There really was a creature called Elasmotherium. It looked similar to a rhinoceros and had a huge horn, as big as a human. These creatures lived thousands of years ago, but eventually went extinct, possibly due to climate change and human hunting. So yes, unicorns did exist, but sadly, we humans were the reason they disappeared. At number 5, we have the creature known as the Loch Ness Monster. People in Scotland have, for a very long time, spoken of a mythical creature that lives in Loch Ness that resembles a dinosaur. It's said to have a long neck and lives deep underwater. However, scientists have not been able to prove whether this creature actually exists or not. So far, there is no solid scientific evidence, and we haven't been able to officially record its presence. The only evidence we had was a single photograph taken in 1934 by Robert Kenneth Wilson, but later, that photo was proven to be fake. It turned out to be a toy submarine with a plastic head attached, staged to look like a monster. Still, the mystery remains. Does the Loch Ness Monster really exist, or not? Some locals believe it's a surviving prehistoric creature known as a plesiosaurus, and maybe it never went extinct. Perhaps we just haven't discovered it yet, and it still lives in that area. The next creature on our list are Dracula. People have been talking about Dracula for a very long time. The story of Dracula began in the Middle Ages, when people at that time believed that dead bodies could come back to life. That's why they used to drive wooden stakes into the chests of corpses, to make sure they couldn't return. They didn't know what really happens to dead bodies after death. For example, sometimes nails and hair appear to grow after death, which seemed scary to them, because science and knowledge were not that advanced back then. Now the real question is, does Dracula exist? There are many diseases that resemble it. For example, porphyria, a disease in which the skin becomes extremely sensitive to sunlight and can start to burn. Then there's rabies, which can make a person behave aggressively or strangely, almost like an animal. So, in the end, Dracula's doesn't really exist. It's just a fear that spread over time. The next creature we're going to talk about is Baba Yaga. You may have heard the name Baba Yaga, but do you really know what she is? Baba Yaga is actually a mythical creature from Slavic cultural mythology. She is described as an old witch-like woman with long iron teeth and a large, crooked nose. She lives deep in the forest in a wooden house, but not just any house. Her house stands on giant chicken legs and moves around the forest. She travels through the forest in that house, constantly searching for her next victim. Her victims are often said to be children, as she is believed to target them. But in some versions of the legend, she is not entirely evil. She is seen as the guardian of the forest, someone who offers you a choice. Either she will help you, or she will eat you. So the big question is, does such a creature actually exist? The answer is, Baba Yaga is part of an ancient mythical culture, a symbol, a legend, not a real being, but the fear and mystery surrounding her continue to live on in stories. Next on our list is the Indus worm. More than 2,000 years ago, ancient Greek historians described a strange and terrifying creature, a giant worm that was said to roam the waters of the Indus River. The Greeks claimed that local people used to hunt this creature and extract a rare oil from its body, an oil so volatile that as soon as it touched air, it would burst into flames. It sounds unbelievable, and maybe it is, because to this day, we have no physical evidence of the Indus swamp beast. No skeletons have been found, no remains, and no verified sightings to confirm it ever existed. However, millions of years ago, long before even the dinosaurs walked the earth, there did exist a massive prehistoric creature called Arthropleura. It was a giant millipede-like creature, nearly 2.6 meters long and as wide as a school bus. It lived during a time when oxygen levels on Earth were extremely high, allowing insects and to grow to enormous sizes. So, how did the legend of the Indus worm begin? Most likely, the Greeks saw locals using flammable oil, maybe from natural sources, and didn't understand where it came from. Then they saw fossilized remains of giant creatures like Arthropleura, and their imaginations did the rest. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Click the video on the screen to watch part 5 of series.